Kenyan embassies issued in public barazas. I think we have all seen this. This is a misuse of public trust and public resources. Call it plainly abuse of office by this current regime. Number 3, we have credible information that the serialization of 820 printed ballots, that's very important, 820,000 printed ballots was not done correctly and not properly inspected. This has created a dangerous loophole for ballot stuffing through extra or unaccounted for ballots. We are further aware that 30,000 pre-marked ballots have already been dispatched to the targeted battleground areas of Magarini, Malava, and Bere North through compromised presiding officers. This strikes at the heart of electoral integrity. 4th, we have seen extended and illegal campaigns conducted by regime agents well beyond the official campaign period, escorted by police officers and accompanied by hired goons. This is a deliberate attempt to tilt the playing field and subvert the will of the people. Number 5, violence is being prepared and deployed as a tool to cripple these by-elections. There is a well-coordinated scheme involving sections of the police, hired goons, and compromised IEBC officials. In Malava, for example, hired goons reportedly under the command of Lugari MP Nabi Nabwera are expected to spark violence using pangas and rungus and other crude weapons. They are to be protected by police, including a special team which has already been dispatched from Nairobi and monitoring their movements, the infamous Subaru unit. Once voting is disrupted, compromised IBC ballots, compromised IBC officers and clerks are expected to use that chaos to stuff ballots. We saw this pattern during the Gen Z protests, where police did not stop goons, but actually enabled them. We have again seen police in Narok and Kabuchai captured on camera moving goons and distributing funds. This is a betrayal of the oath to protect. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, as we stated on November 20th, there is a deliberate plan to misuse mobile phones in polling stations in ways that violate the secrecy of the ballot. The response from IBC has been weak and insufficient, with the junior officer in Magarini giving a half-hearted explanation to an issue that demands the full attention of the chairperson and indeed the entire commission. Their silence deepens our concern about the integrity of this institution at this critical moment. The IBC, by failing to address the genuine concerns raised by the opposition and the media, and by neglecting to put in place the necessary remedial measures, continues to cast a long shadow over its own independence. This new commission now stands accused, not by us alone, but by its actions of presiding over a process whose credibility grows more questionable by the day. A democratic, free and fair election cannot be built on silence, on evasion or selective action. It must be anchored on justice. We therefore demand that the IBC rises to the moment and A, confronts and overcomes the challenges facing this by-election. This is the first true test of the new commission. They must either overcome these challenges or be overcome by them, squandering the little trust Kenyans still hold. The commission must assure all Kenyans that it is not entangled with broad-based masters. B, to our supporters across the country, come out in large numbers and vote for all united opposition candidates. Remain peaceful, but also remain vigilant. Document every irregularity and promptly report every form of electoral malpractice witnessed in your constituencies or in your wards. To our agents, you have been prepared for this day. Confirm that all ballot boxes are empty before voting begins. And check even any possibility of open windows where things could have been brought in and sneaked in. Do not abandon your stations until polling is fully concluded. Report every incident, from attempted inducements to photo taking inside booths to any form of voter harassment by police in uniform or in plain clothes. To the media, election observers and civil society organizations, please maintain maximum vigilance at all polling stations. Shine the light where others attempt to hide the truth. Expose every malpractice. This is what is expected of us as citizens of this country, that we have to dig in for democracy. The desperation of this regime is obvious to all. They are hanging by a thread. The writing is on the wall. The die is indeed cast. No amount of public money, no deployment of police, bullets or tear gas, and no intimidation of opposition leaders and supporters will succeed in silencing the will of the people. And to the broad-based operators clinging to their last straws, let it be known the people have already spoken. At this defining moment, we urge Kenyans to stand firm, stand peaceful, and stand together. Let us prove once again that no force, however desperate, can overcome a united and a determined people. The will of Kenyans is sacred. It cannot be bought, it cannot be bullied, or indeed it can never be broken. Tomorrow, let us vote with courage, guide the vote with vigilance, and move forward with faith, knowing that the truth may be delayed, but it cannot surely be denied. May God bless Kenya and all of us. My colleagues may want to add, but to do that aspect I talked about, the 820,000 ballots already printed. They were printed out in Greece, and the policy for by-elections has always been, you print locally. The Kenya Literature Bureau, for example, has been in that business. And it is also important to know that no certificate, and we want IBC to prove us wrong, no certificate of inspection and receipt has been received. So we are aware that this has been a quiet thing. And as we speak, Mr. Marijan is on the ground in Bere to try to make sure that what is already been planning, as we said the other day when my colleagues were out on the field, last Thursday in particular, we did point out that Marijan is under instructions of the former commissioner, Professor Guli, who is William Ruto's political advisor on matters to do with IBC. So IBC, you are clearly on notice. So please, when the agents are there and the names are read out, I'll give an example. Any vote ya Karis in Bere North, if the clerks read Karis, please agents demand to see the marked ballots. And at the end of it, before the presiding officer presses the send button, please ensure that the numbers that have been now kind of identified and announced, are also the same figure that will get now transmitted by the send button. We are saying this because we are aware in the case of Mbeere North, 15,000 ballots have already been particularly voted. They have already marked them. And so the idea is that they are going to make them, they will all be met now at the constituency tallying center. And therefore, because of the lack of serialization, which you have talked about, anybody can mark and serialize everything. So we are pretty aware, and I must thank Kenyans. Kenyans are very smart. That's why my brother said they cannot be like some of our other neighbors. This is Kenya. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It is now very clear to us and to the people of Kenya that IBC is totally compromised, and we are happy that this has been confirmed this early, because had this not been confirmed this early, we could have duped Kenyans that they can supervise and superintend over the general elections. For the first time since the electoral history of Kenya, IBC has confirmed that they will be using uniformed officers and plainclothes officers. Those plainclothes officers is a tool for ballot stuffing. IBC has given ballot papers to government agencies that have been pre-marked, and the officers in civilian, their work is to figure out how to get the pre-marked ballots into the ballot box. In Bere, for example, Bere North, 15,000 pre-marked ballots are being distributed now in a hotel 2 kilometers from every town where Kindiki is supervising. And these officers have been instructed to go to the polling stations, some pretending to be agents, others to be observers, others to be keeping security. The plan in Bere North is that 1,500 gangsters from Kayole and Kambura in Kikuyu are in Bere. And their mission is to create chaos outside the polling stations so that the police officers inside can create more chaos, pretending to be agents. And in that situation of chaos, the pre-marked ballots will be put into the ballot boxes. Thereafter, the police will arrive and keep peace, and things will go back to normal, and then the voting will continue. By that time, the pre-marked ballot papers will have been in the ballot box already. We are therefore saying, and the CEO of IBC, Marajan, is in Bere North himself overseeing that exercise. Let me ask government not to provoke the people of Bere North and the people of Kenya. Those people will not accept that situation. And I can tell you they are aware and they are waiting. And I think for IBC, they have lost an opportunity to work on some credibility where Kenyans can believe that they can be trusted to oversee the general election. So let me ask the people of Bere North to be vigilant, to go and vote, and hang around. And when there is a signal that the goons and the police have brought chaos, they too must come and protect their vote, because it's their right and it cannot be taken away from them. In Narok town, the governor has mobilized goons with the help of the Murang'a women rep and Betty Minor, again from Kikuyu, from Kayole, to go and intimidate members of the Kikuyu community in Narok town because they are perceived to be against government, and to make sure they do not vote. I was there on Monday. There was a lot of violence by goons under police supervision in broad daylight. And I want to ask the members of the Kikuyu community not to fear to go and vote, because they are Kenyans and they have a right to live anywhere in this country, and they have a right to vote for whoever they want to vote for. Our party has organized adequate security to escort them to go and vote, and they should do so without fear, because if they buy fear, this will set the stage for the rigging of the 2027 general election. So let us say that if William Ruto and IBC think they will rig the 2027 general election, they will be in for a rude shock. Admittedly, I think the by-elections are a trial run on how they can rig the 2027 general election. For us, it's also very good, so that we see how they do it, so that we learn and we prepare. But I can tell you with certainty, the people of Kenya will not be intimidated to elect people they don't want. And Kenya is not Tanzania. This is a totally different country with a very resilient population who don't buy fear and who are not easily intimidated. In Bere North, William Ruto has spent over 700 million shillings trying to bribe voters. And on the eve of the closure of the campaign period, the people of that area are through with that money. They want to go and vote their men, and that is why now they want to stuff the ballots. And it will not work, and it will not happen. And it is wrong for government officers sitting somewhere in a hotel outside Embu to think that they can go and stuff ballots into ballot boxes where the people live. It is very difficult. It's not easy. So we want to ask IBC not to allow officers into polling stations. And we have asked our agents to demand from the presiding officer that all agents are frisked for weapons. Nobody is supposed to carry a weapon inside a polling station unless it's an officer who is uniformed. Anybody else, whether you are an agent, whether you are an electoral official, you cannot carry a firearm inside the polling station. Those firearms are meant to intimidate the other agents, to intimidate the electoral officials, and therefore we have asked our agents to refuse the voting to begin until all people inside the polling station have been frisked for firearms, so that there are no firearms within the polling station. And I think once that has happened, voting should go on, and the counting should go on, and whoever has won should be announced. We have asked the people of Bere North, after voting, all of them to proceed to the tallying center in Chicago, so that they can protect their vote. Because we cannot agree a few police officers organized by government to intimidate an entire population. It is not acceptable. It cannot happen. But the most annoying thing is that IBC has a guts to print ballots and give them to government. It's so sad. And they expect anybody to believe they can carry out a free and fair general election. They are going to set this country on fire. If those ballots are introduced tomorrow across the country successfully, because Kenyans will know, because the agents will be there, the police will use force, those activities will be recorded, and it comes to the attention of the people of Kenya that IBC with the government want to introduce ballot papers that are pre-marked. Kenyans will be ready. And it will not be easy. And they will set this country on very, very, very serious tension for the next 2 years. I can tell you with certainty that if they try the rigging of these by-elections, this country will be on political mood from tomorrow up to 2027, and no work will be done in this country. People will be agitated, people will be angry, and people will not accept that a government can enforce, can force leaders on them. So let me ask the people not to fear, not to be intimidated, to go out and vote and protect the vote. They must remain vigilant under all circumstances, no matter the threats, no matter the level of intimidation. This is our country. We have no other country to go to, and the right to vote is absolute, and it must be protected under all circumstances. Thank you.
Thank you.
Labda wenzangu wameongea Kiingereza, wacha ni seme kidogo kwa Kiswahili na nieleze Wakenya wazalendo ya kwamba tumepata habari ya njama na kuiba kura serikali hii ya broad based. Njama hii imetekelezwa kupitia IEBC commissioners wenyewe, polisi wa Kenya, na kuna wahuni ambao tayari wametayarishwa. Wamepelekwa kule Mbere, wamepelekwa Magarini, wamepelekwa Malava kule Kakamega. Na njama hii ni kwamba hawa wahuni wataanzisha fujo wakiwa chini ya ulinzi wa polisi, na polisi wataingilia kati kujifanya ni kama wanatuliza na waweze kusimamisha upigaji kura katika sehemu hizi tatu ambazo serikali tayari dalili imeonyesha watashindwa. Wanataka kugeuza uamuzi wa wananchi. Yetu leo ni kuambia chairman Ethicon na commission ya IEBC ya kwamba wana nafasi nzuri sana kuonyesha ya kwamba hii ni tume huru isiyoegemea upande wowote. Kupitia yale ambayo malalamishi tumefikisha mbele yao, kuanzia na mambo ya hongo kwa wapiga kura, haswa jana kumekuwa na women rep wa Kakamega BL Mahanda akigawa chakula cha msaada, relief food, mchele, maharagwe, akipeana mattress na blanketi ambazo mimi nilikuwa napeana nikiwa waziri wa special programs. Wale wamepata majanga kule Turukana, mafuriko kule Nyanza na kwingineko. Hii ni chakula ya dharura kusaidia msaada wale wameumia. Sio wapiga kura, wakulima wa bidii ambao wana chakula chao, lakini wanatumia chakula cha serikali, mattress za serikali kununua wapiga kura wapigie kura. Sio hiyo tu, njama ya pili kando na hongo ni kutumia fujo. Na hii fujo itakuwa kupitia hawa wahuni na polisi. Silaha hizi mbili za hongo na fujo tumejua zitatekelezwa wapi na nani. Kama Malava, nimetoka huko jana, mbunge wa Lugari Bwana Nabina Bwera, tunajua ya kwamba wewe ndio komanda ambao umepewa jukumu hilo. Tunajua ya kwamba Mheshimiwa Wetangula, Mheshimiwa Mudavadi, Mheshimiwa Oparanya na viongozi wenzetu kutoka magharibi mwa Kenya wamekuwa kwenye njama hii wakiongozwa na none other than Faruk Kibet, msaidizi wa rais, karani wa rais. Sasa ndio mdosi wa hawa jamaa. Kile anasema is what goes in Malava. Ameishi kule mwezi mzima hajaondoka. Na leo tutataka tumwambie Bwana Faruk Kibet, ile njama umepanga tunajua. Kulikuwa na njama ya kwamba viongozi waweze kushikwa. Mheshimiwa Senator Halwale is targeted for arrest. Tunajua kuanzia usiku huu niko natafutwa. Senator Cleo Malala, governor anatembea na viongozi ambao wanaongoza kampeni zetu. Hii njama wanataka waweze kutisha wananchi wasijitokeze kupiga kura wakisikia viongozi wao wameshikwa, na polisi wengi wamemwaga watu waogope kujitokeza. So siku ya leo tunataka tuambie tume hii, mtihani huu msiopita, mjue ya kwamba tayari mtakuwa umeanguka. Kama ni mock exam, this is a litmus test kwa tume hii. Na Bwana Ethicon with your commissioners, trust is earned. The confidence in the public is earned. And once you lose it, you can never recover it. This is like virginity, once lost can never be recovered. You have an opportunity. Muna nafasi nzuri kudhibitisha wazi ya kwamba ninyi ni tume huru. But beginning tonight, going into tomorrow, mjue ya kwamba kama viongozi wa upinzani twajua zile njama mmepanga na mtahusika. Sitaki niseme mengi, niombe ya kwamba wapiga kura, supporters wetu, msiogope, mjitokeze. Tutakuwa nanyi kuanzia usiku wa leo hadi usiku wa kesho, kura zikihesabika. Tuko na vijana wetu wamejitokeza. Uamuzi tayari vile tumetembea kama United Opposition, tukiwa Kakamega, tumekuwa Mbere, tumekuwa Magarini, wananchi wa Kenya washaamua. Jaribio la kugeuza uamuzi wa Wakenya naweza likaleta maafa kama yale tumeona Tanzania. Na haya tunaambia Bwana Ruto, Kenya si Tanzania. Lakini huenda ukageuza Kenya kuwa Tanzania beginning tomorrow, kama yale Suluhu alifanya kule Tanzania, na watu wastaarabu kabisa wa Tanzania wakajitokeza. It will be worse in Kenya if you try. Let the people decide. That is the essence of democracy. Do not try to subvert the will of the people. Hiyo ni ilani tu tunatoa, na tunasema ya kwamba wapigaji kura mjitokeze. Ile fujo tumeona pale Kabuchai, nimekuwa na Mheshimiwa Gachagua kule Narok, ile fujo tuliona pale. It is very clear that this commission has been compromised, but you have 24 hours to prove yourselves. Asanteni sana.
That's 1 minute.
Yeah, sure.
I forgot one thing. We have credible information as part of the strategy in case they don't succeed during the day to introduce the pre-marked ballots. The officers in civilian will cause chaos at 5 to delay the counting until nightfall. And once it's dark, the PS for energy, Alex Wachira, has confirmed to everybody that there will be power blackout in all these areas so that it creates the best environment for chaos and for getting the pre-marked ballots into the ballot box. We want the CS Energy of PUADI to confirm to the people of Kenya, because it's important, that there will be no power blackout in those areas where there are by-elections. Because this will be a clear testimony that all institutions in this country have failed. And they are part of the Kenyan fraud of stealing from the people of Kenya their birthright. And Alex Wachira has confirmed in that meeting that was in Embu. And what I must tell these government people is that the police force is as dissatisfied as the rest of Kenyans. That police force is divided right in the middle. All those things, they are being planned, they are being relayed to us in real time. Because these are also parents. Their pay slips have been raided. The police, they are complaining. Share deductions, housing levy. They are equally discontented. Most of presiding officers who have been approached, their teachers, they are very discontented. So all those things you are planning using government might is in public knowledge, and it will be relayed as it comes. So we are also asking the media finally, please keep an eye on the happenings tomorrow. Have your teams everywhere. You have a responsibility. This is your country, to inform the people of Kenya what is going on. Because once these things are exposed, it's a deterrent. So please let the media help the people of Kenya by having live coverage of all these by-elections so that people of Kenya can see what's going on. And you are lucky that we have given you an update of what is happening and what to expect. So also carry rubber shoes. Because the goons, I'm sure, they have instructions to descend on you. I don't want to scare you, but because I'm a truthful man, it's just to tell you the truth. Because I know they want to intimidate the media, to grab your cameras. So please carry your rubber shoes and also have a few of your own guys. They don't have to be goons to cover you up. So that your camera is safe and you are safe too.
Indeed.
And please take care of yourself. So when I was in Narok, I was well prepared with a helmet. Because I had adverse information. I've told you the police force is divided right in the middle. There's the police who are calling me. Tunakungoja wewe na utapigwa mawe, utapigwa risasi, so utafuta bulletproof vest weke na uchunge kichwa yako ndio wana target. So nilikuwa na helmet ile bulletproof because I had prior information. No? So even you, I'm giving you a head start. So I'm saying mjue. Si mtajitayarisha pia. Your job is as risky as ours.
Maybe one more thing before, kama kuna maswali pengine, lakini kabla hiyo, we must of course put on record our condemnation in the strongest terms possible of this state-sponsored violence in Kapuchai, in Narok. We saw some feeble attempt by IBC in Kasipul to do something, and they have been silent on these other things. A real time attempt, and by the way, these were scheduled political rally campaigns within the framework, and you can imagine what would have happened to Governor Natembeya out there. And by the way, he was supposed to have been around as well, but I think his party leader has spoken. Why would Murkomen want to issue a statement kusema they have withdrawn the security of leaders at this time. Ati wanachunguza. Sasa wanachunguza what is pretty obvious, that the opposition rally in Kapuchai, and of course under the arrangements of Mheshimiwa Kalasinga, whose home was raided. We have not heard of arrests of those people who went actually kwa Mheshimiwa na kuharibu kila kitu. Hatujasikia kwamba wameshikwa. What are they trying to do by saying they're investigating? We have not heard one thing by APOA, by the way, Independent Police Oversight Authority. Even when people were stoned in Murang'a that time, peaceful things, people went all the way to police headquarters, to IPOA, make a presentation. We never heard them come back. Please, Kenyans who are in those positions, know that tomorrow you may want to get things done the way we want them done. Because you will be on the receiving end, God forbid. So we have to sort out this country while time is on our side. Kama kuna swali, because that thing about kusema tuna withdraw security leaders to investigate and we know the perpetrators, it's actually a shameful thing by the minister in charge of the interior.
I think that's okay.
I think tumemaliza mambo haya. Yes sir. Lakini pia uko na rubber shoes yako sawa? Yeah. We think it can, by the way, we have flagged out those places. But nothing, you remember I talked about 820,000 printed ballots. All right? And each of them is supposed to have a serial number. I wanted to look at that statement. Si ndio nakwambia, ndio najaribu kukujibu kwamba angalia hiyo statement tena, that there is no serialization of those ballots. Wanaanza, we have got this from real time, by the way, on people who are everywhere, some in Kasipul, right? That inarukwa serial number, therefore giving, I think those are the numbers zile zimerukwa ndizo wanataka kutumia waweke ballot stuffing, alafu waonyeshe ndizo hizo. Kama wanavyosema ndugu Rigiji kwamba ikifika saa 11 usiku, saa 1 jioni wanazima mataa na kuintroduce those ballots. That's why we are saying the agents for united opposition wawe macho from 5 o'clock in the morning to make sure the ballot papers are completely empty, to make sure hakuna mtu anaingia pale mwenye silaha, to make sure hakuna mtu agent waangalie kama kuna watu wanaenda kupiga picha kwa secret, to avoid the secrecy of the ballot. Waangalie hiyo yote, wawe macho na wasilale kwa kituo mpaka mambo yajulikane. So that's including what I said. That's absolutely vital, because if the presiding officers under instructions of Marjan are able to press the send button to the constituency tallying center, kwa mfano, or to the ward tallying center, what that will mean is that number may be different from ile imehesabiwa 1 2 3 4. Karisa amepata hii. What is your name, sir? Koenga naye amepata hizi. Sasa inaenda kitu tofauti. So the whole thing is the agents, and we have told our agents to be thorough. Lazima tukomeshe wizi wa kura Kenya hii.
I think for Kapuchai, and we are talking about Kisa East, the main target is actually Malava and Western.
Yeah.
What we do know, the way Rigiji has said, 15,000 pre-marked are headed to Bere North. For Malava, we have 10,000. We are aware they have sent 10,000 pre-marked ballots to Malava. And there are specific areas where tonight they're being dispatched. And once they start the violence, the police come in, there's disruption. There are presiding officers who have already been put in the loop, been compromised with that mission of making sure 10,000 ballots that are not for Malava people, that are pre-marked elsewhere, transported into Malava, are stuffed into those ballot boxes. So these we are aware, and 10,000 have also gone to Magarini. Obviously, you can see Ndere North is the highest target, 15,000. But we are aware and we took macho. Our agents wakae macho. Na wale ambao watahusika kuleta fujo, for Malava we are aware na Binabwera, ndugu yangu Musalia, ndugu yangu Weta, ndugu yangu Oparanya, we have already lost a life in Kabuchai. There was a death because there was shooting, police bullets, live bullets were used in Kabuchai. There's already bloodshed in Kabuchai, kwa Itangula. We wouldn't want that to happen again tomorrow or this night. The blood will be on the hands of those who are in charge of that violence, and we know them. Asante sana.
We monitored even the movement
Yes.
from Thika. Hizi Zambere zilianza somewhere in Thika, alafu zikapelekwa kwa DCC office in Bere. Tunajua, we are monitoring, and in the Kenyans themselves telling us what is actually happening.
I think.
Thank you. Asanteni sana.
Thank you.
Mubarikiwe. Tuwatakie
sitasimama maovu yakitawala, sitasimama maovu yakitawala. Sitasimama maovu yakitawala.